Hi, third graders. We are going to dive into lesson 16, and we're going to talk about identifying different types of word problems. Okay, so in this blue box are ways we could label a word problem. It's the type of problem that it is. So I want you to think. You know what an array is, right? So an array multiplication problem is when we're trying to multiply rows and columns to find the total. Right? We're trying to find the total. So we're going to write that down. You're going to copy this down. Find the total. If you see an array division problem, okay, they give you the total, and you're trying to find one of those missing factors. So we're going to write down given the total. So you know the big number. Equal groups. Equal meaning the same. So the same, right, number of groups when we're multiplying. Okay, equal groups multiplying. So we're trying to find the total again, but they're groups of things, not rows and columns. Right, groups of things. You know that an array are rows and columns. These two, we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth today, and then we're going to do a couple problems. Okay, equal groups division, both of them say that. One of them is with an unknown group size, so we don't know how many's in the group. The other one, we don't know how many groups there are. All right, I know it sounds confusing. We're just going to start looking at this, so we'll revisit it a lot in third grade, but I want to show you the same math problem, but two different ways. Okay, so let's look at that equal groups division. Okay, if I have the group size that's unknown, that means I'm trying to find out how many are inside the group. Think about, I have plates, but I don't know how many cookies go on the plate. Okay, so look at this word problem. It says Joe bought 10 treats for his cousins. He divided them equally among his 2 cousins. How many treats did each cousin get? So you know, good mathematicians draw, have an equation, an answer, and a label. So if I'm going to draw that, here's his 10 treats, right? He divides them among his 2 cousins. So here are his 2 cousins. And I simply took one treat and put it inside. I also drew a line to show you that I did that over and over. So one treat, a second treat, a third treat, a fourth treat, until I got to 10 treats and I ran out. Okay? So we want to know how many did each cousin get, right? We're looking for what's on the inside of our group. We know there's 2 groups because we have 2 cousins. So here's cousin 1, here's cousin 2. After I share those treats equally, I can see that each cousin got 5 treats. So 5, right, is that unknown group size. I'm trying to figure out how many is in that group. Okay? Now, let's look at the same problem, but thinking about it from a different lens, looking at it differently. Now we're trying to find out how many groups there are. Okay? We're trying to find out how many total groups. It's called the groups unknown. So similar problem. Joe bought 10 treats for his cousins. Each cousin got 5 treats. Now we want to know, how many cousins does Joe have? How many cousins, how many groups are there? I still have my 10 treats, and all I did is I counted by 5s and I circled a group. I counted by 5s and I circled a group until I got to 10. 5, 10. So I'm done. And you can see that in an outline green, that's how many groups I have. I have 2 groups. Inside is 5, but I already knew that. They told me that in the story. I needed to figure out how many groups there were altogether. Okay, so you're going to need to identify problems like that by the type or the kind of problem they are. Let's do a couple word problems together. So we're on page 75 in our math book. I might not have said that earlier. I'm sorry if I didn't. Page 75. So you'll be able to pause the video and write down that information because you want to keep it straight in your head. Okay? Think about, I know what an array looks like, right? I know what equal groups look like, but really thinking about the kind of problem, what you're actually doing. Are you finding what's on the inside? Are you finding how many groups? Okay, so pause the video, write down those few notes if you haven't already done that. Let's look at number 1. Okay, this says, Mrs. Ostrega has 3 children. She wants to buy 5 juice boxes for each child. How many juice boxes does she need? Okay, the directions above tell us to decide which type of problem it is, right? We have to solve it, and then we're going to write that letter. So there are A through F up here. So we're going to solve it, and we're going to decide which one of these types of problems is that. Okay. Mrs. Ostrega has 3 children, and she wants to buy 5 juice boxes for each child. Now, I know there's not a lot of room to write or draw on this page, so I'm going to use the space up here, and I'm actually going to put a number 1, so I know that it matches my number 1 problem. So she's got 3 children. I'm going to draw 3 groups. And if she wants to buy 5 juice boxes for each child, right, I have to think. I don't know the total. I'm trying to figure out what that total is. Okay, 5, 10, 15. I just found out she needs 15 juice boxes. So I multiplied 3 groups, right? I've got 3 groups and there's 5 in each group. So my equation down here is going to be 3 times 5. I already found my total, my product, 15 juice boxes all together, right? So here are my groups. I knew how much was in the group, but I was looking to find the total amount, right? What do you think that would be? Well, I know it can't be A or B because I didn't draw an array. Arrays are rows and columns, right? So maybe we even put that right there. Rows and columns to remember that. I know it can't be A and it can't be B. Equal groups multiplication. Did I do equal groups? And was I multiplying to find the total? I sure was. So for number 1, I'm going to put the letter C because that's the type of problem that it is. Remember, you have to make sure you read the directions at the top of the page or on your homework so that you do all the steps, not just the deal, but it's asking you to identify the type of problem that it is. All right. Let's try number 4. Art said he could make 12 muffins in his muffin pan. The pan has space for 3 muffins in a row. How many rows does the muffin pan have? Okay, so we're going to have to draw some pictures of that. How many rows? He can make 12 muffins. He has space for 3 muffins in a row. Okay, think about what picture you might draw. I'm going to go up here again because I don't have a lot of space. I'm going to write a number 4. So he can make 12 muffins and he can put 3 in a row. But I don't know how many rows, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I got my total, right? I'm going to put a T there for total. I got to 12. 3 in each row. How many rows? So I know 12 is my total. How many lines did I draw there? I have 12 muffins, 3 in each row. So I just found out 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I did my work, DEAL. But now I have to ask myself, which type of problem? Well, I know it's rows and columns, so that narrows it down, right? Am I doing multiplication to find the total in an array? Or am I given the total in the array? Think about that. Would you pick A or would you pick B? I hope you said B, right? Here's our division problem right here. Array division. We've already been given the total. We know there are 12 muffins that can fit in that muffin pan. When you work on your homework today, you're going to be asked to identify, okay? Grown-ups can help you. I want you to be thinking, what does this look like in a picture? Did they give me the total? Do I have to find the total? Is it an array? Am I drawing equal groups? I will also put a picture of this on Google Classroom under math resources. So you can go back and check that to understand again, right, the difference between trying to find how many is inside the group versus how many groups we have to have. All right, try your best. I know it might be a little tricky, but take your time and think it through.